Like she got up and went straight out. She's got unfinished work here. Hey, this is a boy's cap. Does Pavlena wear it? Or did someone leave it here? I had a look in Pavlena's place in the loft.
And? Did you find anything?
She's got unfinished work there. She weaves baskets.
Aye, she usually has a few on the go, but she took them to the market in Troskovitz. We've got nothing here but what we make ourselves, or find in the woods. Pavlena weaves baskets very nicely. Folk buy them from her.
I found a cap there. A man's cap. I don't suppose Pavlena would wear something like that.
You're saying she had some young man here? I'd surely have noticed.
I don't know, good wife. I'm just saying what I found.
Could she have found herself a beau in Troskovitz?
Look out!
You having trouble with the Takovites?
I'd say it's time to get payback for all those shenanigans up there. You look like you might be good at that sort of thing. And since you're already here, why don't you help me out? Trust me, I'll make it worth your while. What do you say?
Sure. If there's something bothering you, I'd be happy to help.
Listen up, then. Those naughty Takovite bastards have this nice maypole in their village. They're so proud of it, you'd think it's a gift from the king himself. Especially Project. Nothing would teach them a lesson better than stealing it and putting it up on display here. Just to spite them.
So all I have to do is take their maypole and bring it to you?
Aye, exactly. But be careful no one sees you take it. It'll be even better if they don't even know it's missing. Besides, if they catch you, they'll beat the shit out of you. So be careful.
All right, I'll be careful. Thanks.
Excellent. But even if something goes wrong, don't go clobbering anyone over the head, understand? All I want to do is piss Project off.
You want to do what to him?
Piss him off. You know? Mess with him. For stealing our maypole and our pasture. But remember, no violence, all right?
Course. I wouldn't hurt a fly. You can count on me.
But go ahead and talk to Project. At least you'll see what an asshole he is.
Why don't you like the Takovites?
Because they're wankers. Arrogant wankers. Think they're above everyone else? But mainly, they stole our pasture, which has belonged to Giliov since time immemorial.
How does someone steal a pasture, anyway?
Like a prick, that's how. Behind Takov, there's this strip of land leading toward the pond. It's supposed to belong to us. For grazing, there's an old tree there, and everything between the tree and the woods is ours. I was there when it was decided. I was about your age then, and I got a good beating under that tree, so I remember. And you can bet your ass I remember.
But how did they steal it from you?
Because they don't believe me. The treacherous bastard. They lie about it wherever they can, saying the deal was different. And it was a different tree near the forest.
Can anything be done about it? Can't you make some kind of agreement?
Well, we meet there every year. I tell them how it is, while they just spew their usual lies. So we kick each other's arses, and everything just stays the way it is. A while back, we fought for a right to use at least half of it. But because I grazed my cattle there, I have to pay those bastards for using their half as well. But that's not fair. All of it is supposed to be ours by law, for fuck's sake.
Oy, that's a tricky situation.
Tricky my ass. They're greedy liars. Simple as that.
They beat you up under the tree? Why would they do that?
You bet they did. That's just how it's done, obviously. When we agree on something like this, we take a young lad and give him a good pummeling, so that he'll remember in case the others forget. And we pick a young boy because he has a good memory and, God willing, still has many years in front of him. It makes sense?
Aye, you're right. I remember we used to do the same back where I'm from. Did you take your pasture dispute to Lord Bombergov?
Of course we did. He asked the Thruskovitz bailiff to resolve it, and he said we should toss it out amongst ourselves. And that if he heard about it ever again, he'll have both me and Project flogged. So that's that.
Why do they look down on you?
Commoners here have all sorts of obligations to the nobility, and have to pay a tax.
Of course. That makes sense.
Aye, but Takov has all its obligations in Grossen. They just pay up and that's it. But the nobles won't allow the same for Yeyov. Besides Grossen, the others have to give them pigs, chickens, hay. That's why them Takovites look down on us. They think they're better than us.
Right you are. Those Takavites are a bunch of stuck-up idiots.
Exactly. See? Even an outsider can tell.
God.
A beautiful maypole you have here. I hear it's the only one in these parts.
Aye, it's the only one around here. Our lads took everyone else's. They're the champions. We just have to keep a good eye on it now. But that's up to Henrik. And why are you so interested in it, eh?
I've seen dozens, well, maybe hundreds of maypoles, and this is simply the best of them all.
Oh, don't exaggerate. Watch your step and don't try anything funny. Project would have you driven out. Well,
What can I do for you?
What do you have for sale?
Oh, well, what can you do?
I heard you could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. Ah, what do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan. You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge.
Be quiet, you mutt. There's nothing there. What the... Is everything all right?
Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up a bit harder. Try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above you. Give it a pull. It works the bellows. Tell the temperature by the color, but you won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out. See? That's exactly the straw color we want. You've got talent, lad. Now heat up the whole thing. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. What is it? Look, If you're tired, I don't think this is for you. What is it? You're not tired, are you? Could you hurry it up a bit? That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side.
Pour me one. Christ.
Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway.
How's your sister?
Fine. Why do you ask?
I heard she was sick. I just wanted to know if she's feeling better.
It was nothing. Just a slight cold. Aye, a man would be
It's
calling
cool
it.
now.
But
You
really,
can't do it all in one go.
understand.
You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day.
Danger.
But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before.
Around then.
The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Hear that? Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking.
Well, that's not bad at all.
Right. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
What good does it do me to whistle while I work?
It makes you work to a rhythm. You won't get tired so quickly, and the iron feels it.
How do I know a good strike from a bad one?
By the sparks that fly up, and by the ring. It rings out with a different sound when you do it right.
What's the right way to heat up the workpiece?
Do it till it turns the color of straw. Ideally, the color should be the same everywhere if your forging's going to be even. The main thing is, don't work it cold. You just ruin it. But don't overheat it either. As soon as sparks start to fly off it in the furnace, take it out.
Why should I forge evenly?
If you keep hammering the same spot, you'll never finish it. You'll just fuck it up. But jumping from one end to the other ain't a good idea neither. You'd end up working unevenly. The best thing to do is aim each strike next to the one before.
How will I know it's finished?
Notice the shape. The closer you are to finishing, the more precise the shape it will have.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed. And there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime you want. Any questions?
Where can I get materials?
You can buy some essentials from me. But if you want to make a fancy sword with lots of ornamentation, you'll have to look elsewhere. This is just a village, you know. The locals ain't after luxury. And they can't afford it neither.
What can I do with the items I've forged?
Well, you can sell them. Though you probably won't have much luck around here. But I'll happily buy some of the nicer things from you.
Where exactly is my bed?
At the side of the house. There are 2 doors and a wheelbarrow between them. You go in by the rear door, next to the woodshed. And you can put your things in the chest there. Don't worry, nobody'll steal them.
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right, here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work. What would you like?
There's a couple more things I'd like to
Ask away.
Thanks. Kurva. I'm burning it.
Christ almighty.
This is almost done. Now I just have to temper it.
Christ, what a day.
Well, I'm about halfway done. Kurva. Burning it. I'm always hitting the same place. That's no good. This is almost done. And that's that.
What can I do for you?
I'll have a look at the ware.
What a shame. I'm done haggling with you. Pleasure doing business. Take care. How can I help you? It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semin and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semin.
Those two hands of yours, Venser and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long, but these days I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semin wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Semin's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right, I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
Now.
You have a beautiful maypole. Does that mean life here is just as beautiful?
Aye, we're doing pretty well. And our fellas guard that maypole well.
But if they're guarding it, who's doing the other work?
That's why they take turns. Our Elshik was guarding it not long ago, but now the neighbor's lad, Henyik, is in charge of it. At least he doesn't have the time to fool around at night.
Do you know Henyik at all?
He started going out with our monka a while ago, but we put a stop to it. In short, he's not exactly the kind of fella I want in my family.
Why? Did he do something to you?
I don't want him whisking Manka away so we never see her again. His parents came here shortly after that terrible plague. There was a vacant farm, so they settled there. They had 3 sons, Henrik being the youngest. Say, have you met his brothers?
I haven't, though I can't say I made an effort to.
Well, you couldn't have met them even if you wanted, because they're not here. Both of them left. They say the younger one had a sweetheart in Troskowitz and took her with him. Nobody knows where they ended up.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You make a good point.
I'm telling you, one of these days, he's going to pack up and disappear. And I don't want him taking our monka along with him. He doesn't like folks talking about it. But wandering's in his blood whether he likes it or not. He's even got into fights over it. Just mentioning it is enough for him to clench his fists. I don't want Monka wasting her time with someone like him. You should try that on him.
Is Alshik your son?
Aye, he's our boy. But he's giving Prochek a headache because he doesn't like having to herd sheep. Ask him about it if you want.
Show me your wares. I'd like to do something about...
But of course,
Do you accept?
we're nearly there. Just lower your price a bit more. Finally, a reasonable sum. Pleasure doing business. God be with you.
So, this is your famous maypole. I'm too conspicuous during the day. Better to try at night. How's it going?
It's shit, to tell you the truth.
How come?
Because I have to guard this bloody maypole. I can't even get a good night's sleep because of it, and there's plenty of other work to do during the day. And then there's... Ah, never mind. Forget it.
What did you want to say? Go on, tell me. Don't leave me in suspense.
That's not for your ears.
I have a feeling something's troubling you. Go on, tell me. Don't leave me in suspense.
That's not for your ears.
Henrik, what about your brothers?
What? Why do you care?
No, it's just that I've been hearing some interesting things about them around town.
Pah, let them talk. I don't know anything about them. They left.
Why did they leave?
I'm not sure. This place isn't too bad, but I reckon they wanted to see the world. Penna left after Pa died, and Rudlin right after Ma's passing, so I was left here alone.
And where did they go?
Hard to say. One said he'd head towards Prague. The other decided to go wherever his legs take him. But as for where they are now, I've no clue. They both said they'd return in a year, but they never did. I hope I get to see them again.
I hear you've got wanderer's blood, and you're getting ready to leave, just like them. I'm a bit of a wanderer myself. Will you take me with you?
This again? Just you wait. I'll show you, just like I'll show anyone who talks about me like that.
When you say show, do you mean run away? I've heard that's all you can do. At least that's what everyone says.
Come on then! You ask for it! Pray for a quick death, you bastard! Take that! Kurva! I'm wounded! Christ! I'm hit! You won't get me! No chance! Jesus! I'm hit! Enough! Enough! Leave me alone! Fuck this! Fuck it all! Letting myself get riled up like that again. All of you can piss off and take that maypole with you. God bless.
Here a moment ago, there's a thief lurking about.
Oh, thank the Lord. Nothing's missing.
What?
Good
day to you. I wish you a pleasant day.